Simon and Vannie starting new.
All right, so today we're going deep into a fictional narrative.
Okay.
And you are the main character.
Interesting.
So I know you might be thinking analyzing a made-up story.
Right.
But, fiction can be a really powerful way to understand real-life relationships.
Absolutely.
Especially the messy ones, right?
Yeah.
The complicated ones.
It's like a social experiment in a controlled setting.
Right.
We can see how people might react in really extreme situations and kind of glean insight into human behavior that might be harder to see in everyday life.
Picture this. You're in college.
Okay.
You're enjoying a peaceful little afternoon nap in your dorm when suddenly, bam, there's your close friend Simon at your door.
Okay.
And he looks like he just went a few rounds with a prize fighter.
Wow.
Bruises, blood, the whole shebang.
Really?
But here's the thing.
Okay.
He's trying to play it cool.
Oh, wow.
Like it's no big deal.
Interesting.
Like whatever.
Yeah, like it's just another Tuesday for Simon.
Just Tuesday.
Yeah.
So what do you think's going on there?
Well, this is textbook avoidance, right?
Yeah.
It kind of speaks to a history of maybe some trauma where being vulnerable is seen as weakness.
Right.
He's learned to mask his pain to kind of put on this tough exterior as a way of coping.
And you, as the main character, you pick up on that right away.
Yep.
You're not really a touchy-feely person.
Okay.
But you're examining his injuries with this incredible tenderness.
Oh, wow.
So it's like you see right through his facade.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
And the story even hints at this isn't the first time that Simon has come to you after a fight with his dad.
Yeah, it's just the usual.
Exactly.
So it's like this pattern.
Yeah, there's this cycle of violence that Simon has just become almost resigned to.
And he just brushes it off. Right?
Yeah.
It's just the usual, enduring physical abuse.
Like it's a normal part of life.
Right.
Which is so not.
Just Tuesday.
It's so not.
Yeah.
But it really highlights this complex psychology of abuse victims.
Right.
They often downplay their experiences, internalize blame, or just feel powerless to change their circumstances.
And even though you are somebody who really craves solitude and independence, you offer to let Simon move in with you. You even say you'll cover the expenses at first.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big decision.
It's a huge decision.
All right.
It speaks volumes about your character.
Yeah.
Your empathy. And the depth of your bond with Simon.
It makes you wonder, though. Yeah. Is this actually a healthy decision?
Right.
Is this enabling...
Are you enabling his dependency by stepping in and rescuing him?
Yeah, it's a tricky balance, right?
Absolutely.
It's like wanting to help a friend in need, but also knowing that there's potential for codependence.
Right. Yeah. It really makes you think about, is there even a truly selfless act? Or are we all driven by our own needs and motivations?
Yeah. And it's interesting because they decide to move in together. And they find this apartment that's a total fixer-upper. It's a blank canvas. Which I thought was interesting because it's kind of symbolic of their relationship.
It's this fresh start.
Right.
An opportunity to build something new.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
And there's this great moment where Simon, who's usually so closed off, he points out this cool view from the windows.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it is.
He's starting to...
He's letting his guard down a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, allowing a little glimpse of hope to peek through the cracks.
And that's when real connection happens, right?
Exactly. It's in those moments of vulnerability, those little cracks in the armor.
So they get to work, cleaning, painting, discussing their vision for the space. And it feels like more than just two friends sharing an apartment, right?
There's a sense of partnership there.
Yeah.
A blurring of the lines between friendship and... something more.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they don't even really talk about that.
Right.
But you can see it.
Yeah, their actions speak volumes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they're building a nest.
Yeah, they're creating this space.
Right.
It reflects their growing bond.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll pause for now.
Okay.
But I can't help but wonder, as they're shaping their physical environment.
Yeah.
What's happening to their emotional landscape?
Right.
Are they unknowingly building a foundation for something more than just friendship?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we left off, you and Simon are transforming this apartment into a home, and things start to get, well, interesting.
Interesting is an understatement.
Okay.
The air is thick with tension.
Yeah. Really?
You see these subtle shifts in behavior.
Like what?
Like playful teasing, increased physical proximity, even the decision to share a mattress until the new bed arrives. It's like they're tiptoeing around this undeniable attraction, but they're afraid to acknowledge it.
Right. Yeah. And there's that one scene where Simon pulls you close.
Right.
And he rests his chin on your shoulder.
He even jokes about snoring and sleeping naked.
Yeah, it's like...
So he's definitely pushing the boundaries.
Right.
Seeing how you'll react.
Yeah, he's testing the waters.
Exactly.
And even though you say you don't like to be touched, you allow it.
Yeah.
You even kind of joke back.
You do.
So it makes you wonder, are you starting to...
Are you maybe enjoying his touch more than you're letting on?
More than you're willing to admit.
That's the question.
Right.
That's what we need to figure out.
Yeah.
This is where the narrative really digs into the complexities of attraction.
It's not black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you just letting your guard down?
Yeah.
Because you feel safe?
Yeah.
Or is there something more?
Right. Is there a subconscious desire for more...
deeper connection?
Yeah. Yeah. So, just the physical stuff. It's not, they're constantly teasing each other. They have these playful nicknames. There's this like underlying flirtation.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to ignore.
And I love the scene where they're looking for apartments online.
Oh, yeah.
And Simon's teasing you about being so picky.
Yeah.
And the narrator even says that it's like, you're looking for a place with a boyfriend.
Yeah, not just a roommate.
It's so obvious, right?
It is so obvious, but they don't say anything.
They don't, it's all under the surface, simmering.
And then boom, things escalate.
Yeah.
They've been painting all day. They're exhausted.
Okay.
They're lying on this mattress in their empty bedroom.
Right.
And as you're drifting off to sleep, you're talking about how happy you are that you're helping Simon escape.
Yeah.
His abusive father. And Simon just whispers,
he does.
I love you, you know?
Wow.
And he's half asleep.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah, but it's...
You can tell it's genuine.
So genuine.
Yeah.
It's from the heart.
But you're so tired.
Oh, no.
You don't even process it. You just say,
yes.
love you too, and fall asleep.
But you miss the significance.
But Simon, even though he's like dozing off.
He knows.
He knows you didn't hear him.
He senses that you're not really with him.
Right.
He's like, idiot. I don't love you like a friend.
Yeah, it's like a punch in the gut, right?
It is.
It's so raw.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder.
It really does.
How long has he felt this way?
Right. How long has he been carrying this around?
Exactly.
It's a perfect illustration of how these unspoken feelings can fester and create this sense of longing. Yeah. Unrequited desire.
Okay, so then the next day, they just kind of fall into this routine, waking up together.
Having breakfast together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're
already a couple moving through life with
Right.
this ease
Yeah.
that suggests a deeper unspoken connection.
Like they skipped a few steps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've bypassed the awkward early stages.
Right.
They jumped straight to the comfortable intimacy of a long-term relationship.
Then there's the paint scene.
Oh, yeah, the paint scene.
You know, they're painting the apartment. And there's this energy between them.
Oh, yeah.
They're teasing each other.
They're getting paint all over each other.
Yeah.
It's flirty.
Yeah, it's fun and flirty.
It's fun.
But underneath it all, you can feel...
Like you can feel the heat.
Intimacy building.
And then there's that moment.
Yes.
Where you get bored.
And you start drawing on Simon's clothes.
It's a pain.
While he's distracted.
Yeah.
And he retaliates.
Yeah, he slaps your backside with a paint-covered hand.
Yeah.
Which...
This is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Because it marks a real shift in their physical boundaries.
Oh, neither of them flinches.
Nobody pulls back.
Yeah.
There's no apology.
And
they're just
in the moment.
And then you end up covered in paint.
You do.
And he's like...
What does he say?
Now, you're the cute one, Picasso. And you say...
We're both so beautiful.
It's playful, but
it's so loaded.
Yeah, there's so much.
With subtext, they're acknowledging the attraction that they can't ignore.
Later, you're working late in the kitchen, and Simon is like, I can't have you working yourself to death.
Yeah.
Which is such a small thing, but...
But it shows how much he cares.
Yeah. He's concerned about you.
He is. It's not just a friend sharing an apartment.
Right.
He's
invested.
Invested in your happiness.
And then you cover him with a blanket.
While he's napping. Oh.
It's so sweet.
It's so tender.
Yeah.
It's almost maternal.
Right.
This instinct to protect him.
It's like you're trying to heal his childhood wounds.
It's like you're trying to give him the love and care
that he hasn't received.
That he's been missing.
Hours later, he wakes up and you're sitting next to him playing with his hair.
Oh.
And he's kind of groggy and disoriented.
Oh, he's vulnerable in that moment.
And instead of like pulling away, you just keep stroking his hair.
You smile.
Yeah.
You keep playing with his hair.
It's a very intimate moment.
It is.
Yeah.
The boundaries have completely blurred.
And then out of nowhere, you kiss him. You do.
It's like this impulsive act.
It is driven by instinct and emotion.
And it changes everything.
It does. It's interesting because Simon doesn't pull away.
Right.
He's surprised.
Right.
But it's like he's been waiting for this.
So he doesn't get mad or anything?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Remember, this guy's been in love with you.
Right.
He basically told you that.
Right. He said, I love you.
Exactly.
So maybe the kiss is surprising, but it's not unwelcome.
It's not unwelcome at all.
So how does he react?
He's speechless at first, totally stunned. And you pull back, you start apologizing.
Of course.
But Simon stops you.
Okay.
And he says, I wouldn't mind if you kissed me again.
Oh, wow.
He actually encourages it.
So he's like coming out of his shell?
Yeah, he's letting go of his inhibitions. He's being vulnerable and honest about his feelings.
So what happens? Do you kiss him again?
You do.
Okay.
You take a deep breath, you lean in, and this time it's different.
How so?
It's a choice.
Right.
The first kiss was instinct. This one is intentional.
You're choosing to explore this connection.
Yeah.
So how does Simon respond?
With passion.
Okay.
The kiss deepens, and he guides you down onto the mattress. It's clear there's a lot of attraction there.
So is it just physical?
No, it's more than that.
Okay.
Simon is taking his time. He's savoring the moment. He wants to make sure you're comfortable.
So it's passionate, but
also tender.
Okay.
There's a reverence in his touch.
So they've gone from roommates to lovers.
In just a few days.
It's pretty intense.
It is intense.
Right.
But remember, this is fiction.
Okay.
The timeline's sped up.
Right.
To build the drama.
So where do they end up?
Well, you pull back and you ask, What are we?
Ah, the big question.
And Simon says, I don't know.
Oh.
He doesn't have a label for what they are.
So are they in this in-between space?
They're somewhere between friends and lovers.
And then you ask,
what do you want us to be?
Such a vulnerable question.
So vulnerable.
Yeah.
And Simon says, I want you to be mine. I want to be yours.
So romantic.
So romantic. And
you say.
What do you say?
I would love that. So the story ends with you and Simon embracing.
So it's a happy ending.
It is a happy ending.
So we've gone on this journey.
Yeah, we have.
Through this fictional relationship.
And what do you think?
What can we take away?
Yeah. What can we take away
from all of this?
For our own lives?
I think the biggest thing is the importance of vulnerability.
Okay.
Simon was willing to open up.
Yeah.
And risk being hurt.
And you asked for what you wanted.
And that's how they found love.
It's a good reminder for all of us.
Absolutely.
That sometimes we need to step out of our comfort zone.
Take a leap of faith.
Yeah, and express how we feel.
Be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You never know what might happen.
So, listeners, think about your own relationships.
Are you holding back?
Yeah.
Are there things you're not saying?
Are you afraid to be vulnerable?
Because sometimes that's the key.
Finding real connection.
To finding true love.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.